Dak Prescott be an MVP candidate this year? I'll answer that and more in today's video. But before I do, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow Boss Cowboy Sports on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can follow me, the OC100, on Twitter. Okay, so going back to last season, we saw that Dak Prescott struggled somewhat with interceptions in the games that he played. Now, if you follow this channel, that was for a variety of reasons. It was a lot of those interceptions, or at least about 40% or more, because of balls coming off of shoulder pads, incorrect routes by the receivers, a various of running option routes and not being able to connect appropriately. Things like that caused a good portion of those interceptions. That's not an excuse. That's just facts on what happened with Dak Prescott this past season. So will Dak Prescott be in the MVP running this coming season? First, we have to look at who's now at the helm. When we look at the fact that you have Mike McCarthy calling the plays, and you have Brian Schottenheimer also as the offensive coordinator, so to speak. All right. So if you look at this, right, and you explore this, and you go back and you look at the pedigree and what happened with Mike McCarthy first at Green Bay. He coached one of the best all-time quarterbacks in that of Aaron Rodgers. And what did Aaron Rodgers do in the West Coast offense going back to the good years before his last couple years, which are not quite as good in Green Bay? Aaron Rodgers consistently led the league in touchdown passes. And more importantly, he consistently led the league in touchdown versus interception ratio. All right. Furthermore, let's take a look at an examination at what happened with Brian Schottenheimer. And this is super key to where I'm going in this video and the details of why and what I think is actually going to happen this season with Dak Prescott. What you had ad nauseum is that you consistently had Russell Wilson at being a top 3 to 5 quarterback in the NFL from the years of 2018, 2019, 2020, and then even going into 2021 after Brian Schottenheimer left, because of the commitment to the running game and the effectiveness of one-on-one matchups and the play action pass. I'm going to talk more about that later. But if you look at this and you think about just the stats of Russell Wilson, this is very, very interesting. And in my opinion, it's very, very telling as it relates to what's going to happen with Dak Prescott in this new and revised and somewhat simplified to a degree offense. So in 2018, you had Russell Wilson throw for 35 touchdowns against 7 interceptions. Listen, guys, his passer rating was 110.9. That's fantastic. 110.9. That was the first year that Brian Schottenheimer was the offensive coordinator. Okay? Let's look at the second year, because I want to give you guys a body of data so that you understand and you can clearly see that, hey, I'm not making this up. I'm not reaching. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm just simply laying out the facts as they are and making a case on what's going to happen with Dak Prescott. So in 2019, he threw for 31 touchdowns against 5 interceptions for a passer rating of 106.3. Wow, amazing, right? So that's over 100% passer rating in 2 consecutive years. Okay, let's look at year number 3. All right, just for conversation's sake. Year number 3, Russell Wilson throws for 40 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 105.1 passer rating. That's fantastic stats. Fantastic stats. And if you look at this, when you look at 2019, 2020-ish, you know, hey, look, that's when they have Doug Baldwin, right? They also added a really good receiver, hey, out of Ole Miss. And hey, man, the DJ Metcalf came into the league, and that helped Russell Wilson, but that's only a couple of weapons, right? And so now you have Dak Prescott that has thrown for 30-plus touchdowns with the Dallas Cowboys. But he's thrown these 37, 35, around the neighborhood of 30-plus touchdowns in multiple seasons with the Cowboys, working in a offense that is not as quite user-friendly for the quarterback. And this is what I mean. Not to talk about our old offensive coordinator, but it's worth noting here that Dak had to make multiple complex reads. It was all option routes, meaning that a wide receiver could run up, he could go in, he could go out. You didn't really know exactly what he was going to do, and the quarterback, based upon the defense, has a read. Well, the wide receiver, based upon that defense, also has a read, and he has to go the right way because that enables the quarterback, in this case, Dak Prescott, to throw with anticipation. Okay, and so that was one of the things that caused some hiccups in this offense. So Dak has been very productive in a complex offense over the last several years. Now, when you look at what happens with the West Coast offense, this is based on timing. You're going to have in-breaking routes. You're going to have design plays where you dictate one-on-one matchups down the field with corner routes, with post, with goals. It's not as complex. And furthermore, you're going to demand one-on-one coverage when you have an effective run game, which I talked about in the last video talking about Brian Schottenheimer. And you're going to get a lot of zone coverage nuances in terms of getting these receivers open when you run hard play action pass. And when you see this offense and you go back and you look at Seattle's offense and some of the things that Brian Schottenheimer has done, well, it was hard play action. And Russell Wilson just was extremely effective with these hard play action passes. All right. And here's another thing. You need to really understand that Dak Prescott has been extremely effective running hard play action, especially rolling to his right. And his completion percentage is off the charts off of hard play action passes. That enabled his early success in his career back in 2016, 2017 with a real strong run game. But furthermore, here's something else. The Dallas Cowboys have more weapons than the Seattle Seahawks had when Russell Wilson threw for those 30-plus touchdowns in 3 consecutive seasons, all right, that I mentioned underneath Brian Schottenheimer. So we have CeeDee Lamb. We have Michael Gallup. We also, have added in Brandon. We also have added in, these rookies in here. All right, Tolbert, who really haven't had a chance yet. Then we also have Turpin, who hadn't really gotten the offensive snaps. And I mean, I could go on some more. We have weapons. We have more weapons and more guys with big play potential than the Seahawks had. So my answer to the question is that Dak will be an MVP candidate this year. Mark my words, you heard it here first. With this offense and with the changes, he's going to be an MVP candidate, hands down. Let me know your thoughts and comments below. Let me know if you agree or disagree and your thoughts about the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow Boss Cowboy Sports on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can follow me, the OC100, on Twitter. Until next time, salute.